conditioning, on field, throwing, mechanics, all of it. It's not, really focused on the need to just get back to where I was prior. I've been able to focus on the entirety of myself as a player and just improve everything.
Still no brace. How comfortable is that, and is that the plan moving forward?
Yeah, I feel great, and that's the plan moving forward. We'll see. When it comes game day, preseason games, see how we're feeling. Might put it on, might not. We'll see, but I plan on practicing without it and seeing how it feels.
What do the next 2 weeks look like for you? Are you going to go? Do you go somewhere? Do you stay here? Do you have a training program that you want to do somewhere, or what's the next few weeks going to look like for you?
Yeah, I'll be here. I got a couple trips I have to take, but make sure to bring my guy with me so we can get our workouts in. Can't be missing any workouts this close to camp, so it's time to walk in.
Somebody will travel with you on your trips?
Yeah.
All the workouts that you've been doing, do you feel like, going back even a couple of years ago, do you feel like the gains you've made, you're further ahead than you were even a couple of years ago?
Yeah, I'm just getting stronger, body's getting more connected, moving more efficiently, the whole 9 yards.
Food-wise, do you take your chef on the trips as well?
No, I don't take the chef. I'm not quite there yet. Maybe second contract will take the chef.
Will you do anything with your receivers before camp?
To be determined. I'll definitely do some throwing here in town. I don't think we need to take a big trip before camp. We got a great 6 weeks to work in right here, but there'll be guys in town for that week, 2 weeks before camp, so we'll definitely get some work in.
As an offense, what's the biggest objective that you all want to accomplish during the OT period?
Just get used to, the biggest thing is just getting the chemistry back with, obviously the receivers, but getting that relationship built back up in the locker room. We got some new faces in there, so you got to kind of start from the ground up every year and build that relationship throughout the locker room. Every year you have 15 or 20 new faces with all the rookies and the free agents that you bring in, so it's just building that team cohesiveness that's been, played a big part in our success last year.
How has building that been so far?
It's been great. Everyone that we've brought in has been exactly what we're looking for as far as a locker room perspective, from the rookies to the free agents. I mean, they've all been great.
What's it been like working with Ted?
Ted's awesome. He's a loud leader up front that you want out of your center. He's exactly what we could have hoped for. He's been above and beyond what you could ask for.
During this break, do you get away from football totally, or do you dabble in, you look at tape and check things out?
We're locked in now. It's go time. We're a month and a couple weeks out from camp, so I'm locked in.
Every day?
I'm thinking about football. I'm thinking about football every day. It's this month leading up to camp is, I'm feeling more intense out there at practice, feeling more intense in the meeting rooms, in my workouts, and all of the above. It's go time.
So you had a real good rapport with CJ. What have you seen from Hurst? What have you? It seems like a quarterback tight end. I mean, you either get it, you don't, and you guys had it. Hurst seems like kind of a pretty favorable target. What do you see from him?
Yeah, Hayden's getting better every single day. He's, if we miss something, he's coming and asking questions about what I expect, and then he's talking about how he wants to run the route, and that's part of building a relationship with a new guy that you're throwing routes with. That's the give and take, and it's gonna just keep growing from there.
I know you and Sam stayed in town the last couple of years working out of Black Sheep and some of the other guys. Does that help when you have in that window of trying to build chemistry and get ready for the season, just being in town working together even when you're not in training camp leading up to it?
Yeah, being around guys as much as you can definitely helps, but I know the kind of guys we have in the locker room, wherever they are, they're going to be getting their work in.
What's your favorite part of OTs?
Just being around everybody again. You're off on your own for a couple months after the season, and my favorite part of the playoff run was just being around the guys more. Like I said, we got a great locker room, guys that you want to be around every day. So when you have those kind of guys, it's fun coming into work every day.
How motivated, Joe, do you sense not only yourself but your teammates are?
We're motivated every year. All those guys are striving to be the best that they can as players and people in the locker room, both in the locker room and on the field. So, like I said, we got great people that are trying to better themselves every day.
Can you see it in the reps you guys are taking in off-season practices, OTAs? How do you see that, I guess, is kind of what I'm getting at.
You just see it in practice, in the weight room, in the locker room, people talking about their assignments on different looks. You just see it every day, all day, every day.
you say you're locked in like you are, do you feel that you're setting the bar and the rest of the guys are like, man, Joe's putting all this time into doing this? Do you feel like, guys will try to emulate what you're doing?
I don't know. That's probably a better question for them. It's not what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get better every single day. That's my goal coming out there. I want to improve in whatever area that I can, whether it's on the field or in the weight room or in the film room.
Is your mindset nobody's going to outwork you, though?
I wouldn't say that's my mindset. I would say my mindset is that I'm going to work as hard as I can every day, and I don't think you can go as hard as you can every single day and think about someone else. I think you have to think about what you need to do every single day and focus on getting better in certain aspects, whether it's getting stronger in the weight room and you hit a PR in a lift, or you're getting better technique, or you're going out and you have a breakthrough on the field as far as your mechanics. So I don't go into my workouts every day thinking, I got to outwork this guy. I got to outwork myself yesterday and get better each day.
Some fans have had some real nice experience with you. It seems like the last couple of weeks, judging from some posts. I was wondering if you had, when you were a kid growing up, if you had any kind of a, maybe interaction with a guy that you looked up to, and you remember that moment.
I was at my cousin's wedding one time in California, and Peyton Manning was just sitting at the bar drinking a beer. I went up to him. I think it was 5th or 6th grade. He signed something for me. That was pretty cool.
What about the fact with COVID's, I guess out of the way, so they say, more, it seems like you have a more interplay with the public.
Yeah, I love seeing the looks on kids' faces when I throw them a towel or I sign something or get a picture. I love doing stuff for the kids. I just think about, myself in that situation when I was little. I would have been ecstatic if somebody did that for me. So if I see a kid, I always try to put a smile on their face.
Speaking of pictures, a few weeks ago on a podcast, you mentioned that you take a lot of pride in your Instagram captions. You've been rolling out a few good ones recently.
You like those?
Yeah, I like the spiky ones. How long in advance do you kind of rack those up, and how planned is that attack?
30 seconds off the top. Pretty good.
Pretty impressive.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Batman's not really a superhero, but the movies are the best. I really liked Spider-Man growing up, I would say. Not a Superman fan. Batman beat Superman.
Why?
Batman beat him. Batman's not a superhero. How can you beat a superhero if you're not a superhero? I just don't. Not tough enough, I guess.
So when you go back to Peyton, did you bring that up to him, I guess, when you got to know him a little bit better? Said, hey, you remember none of that?
No, I haven't brought that up to him. Maybe I should.
Joe, you kind of made a joke about the second contract earlier. When you see things like Aaron got $50 million per year and Deshaun got $230 million guaranteed, what goes through your head just when you see that, knowing what could be in line for you?
The market is just exploding. It's crazy the numbers that these guys are putting up, and I think it's well deserved. All those guys are playing at the top of their game, and they're being paid accordingly. But I'm not worried about it. I like to make jokes about it, but haven't thought about it much right now.
Do you allow yourself to even think for a second of what that could be like when that moment comes for you? Or is that just something that's almost hard to?
Yeah, it's hard to wrap your head around. When it comes, it comes if it comes. So we'll see. I'm excited about this year.
Both teammates and opponents alike talk about you being a tough football player. And what's your definition of tough?
Whatever happens to the play before you get back up and do it again. As a quarterback, you're not playing the same game as everybody else on the field. You're back there, and it's more of a mental chess match than it is a physical toll on your body. And so when you get a chance to show your toughness, I think as a quarterback you have to, and that's popping up and not having bad body language if you get hit, and popping back up, getting back in the huddle, and doing it again.
The organization added some offensive linemen, obviously, in free agency, but they're also banking on Jackson, Deontay, Trey to develop as well. What have you seen from them over the past 6 weeks?
Yeah, those guys, we have a lot of pride in those guys, and it seems like they had a great offseason. They worked really hard. They came in shape. ready to go. So I know they're excited to compete for that job. I have the utmost confidence in all those guys to be able to do that job to the best of their ability. So, we'll see what happens in camp, but I know they're all ready for it.
You guys are really explosive on offense last year. Does it feel like just with the added pieces up front and the chemistry you built with Jamar, TB, all those guys, you can just take it up another level this year?
Yeah, we just got to be more consistent, not rely on those big plays as much. Teams are going to be playing too high and making us check the ball down and all that, so we got to be able to sustain drives and run the ball and take what the defense gives us all the way up and down the field, and then take those opportunities when they present themselves.
When you're not doing football stuff, next 6 weeks, is there any hobbies that you're really excited about getting after?
Just gaming, relaxing on the couch, watching some TV. That's usually all I do.
Did you watch Teixeira and Rosen?
I did.
What'd you think?
It was a very, very good fight. I thought Glover was going to pull it out, but Yuri got him in that choke. That was crazy. I was, like I said, I love watching that every Saturday, so I got fired up.
Joe, your thoughts on Jesse and how much you want to see him back with the team when camp starts?
Yeah, Jesse's a big part of this team, and you can put a price tag on what he does on the field, but I don't think you can on what he does in the locker room. He's been a guy that has kind of built what we're doing here. He was one of the first, and Jesse's exactly the kind of player that I think you want to reward for the work that he's done for the last 4 years through the ups and the downs. And we weren't very good for 3 years while he was here, and then he's been through it all. So we're hoping that everything works out in his favor. I know that he's working really hard right now in the weight room. He's looking great. He's going to be ready to go for whenever he gets here. Business is business. He's got to take care of what he's got to take care of, but I know when it's time to show up, he's going to be ready to go.
How do you characterize his leadership? Obviously, you think a lot of him as a leader, but how would you characterize it?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Just, he's one of those guys that, I talk about being able to hang out with anybody on the team, sit down at any lunch table. He's one of those kind of guys that can have a conversation with anybody on the team and make them feel welcome. And I think, those guys are invaluable to an organization and a program that's trying to achieve what we're trying to achieve.
When's the last time you talked to him?
I talk to Jesse all the time. We're going to be taking a trip here soon together, so I'm excited about that.
Matt, where are you going?
Vegas.
Are you going to be like TV and Chase and be out until 5 in the morning?
I can't imagine that's what I'm going to be doing, but we might. Who knows?
Brian Callahan was saying he didn't think you had tweaked anything with your motion or your steps or anything. How the season just ended, but he was saying you were looking at scheme and stuff and trying ways to get better with the scheme. And he mentioned short yardage. What's your view of short yardage, your role in that, and what the offense has to improve?
Yeah, we got to be better in that department. I think we were one of the lower tiers in the league in short yardage. We got to be able to both run the ball better and throw the ball better in that situation. So, that's something that we're going to be working on going forward throughout camp and, the next couple days. And, I know the coaching staff will have great game plans for us going into each game.
Kind of a serious now football question for you. There's been a lot of conversation, franchises across all sports, and talking about kind of perform a little bit in like various ways or another, especially after a lot of the events the last couple of weeks. Has that been something that you all have had a conversation about in the locker room, or even you personally with others around you? I mean, what's that been like, if anything?
I really haven't talked about that part much. I think, with everything that's going on, if you're not going to outlaw everything, you got to at least make it harder to get those crazy guns that everybody's using. I don't think you should be able to just walk in there and buy one. You got to be able to go through, a rigorous process to be able to buy something like that, I think. So, hopefully the people that get paid to make those decisions figure that out. My job is to play football, but hopefully the politicians can figure that one out. Good? Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate your time.